Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Magnifique with me, your host, Gabrielle Forshee. How are we doing? How was the weekend? How are things? Tell me how you are. You talk to me. This is a safe space for you. Hi, happy March. Don't forget to thank a woman this month in honor of Women's History Month. It's my favorite month of the year. I love to make this month all about me. And because of that, I would like to just take a moment to discuss women. I don't think I could have had a worse intro to this. But last week, I kind of gave links and ways to support women in need, and I'm going to do the same as well this week. So last week, again, flashback to last week, we discussed women in Gaza who are without menstrual supplies and bearing children without medication. So this week, I once again want to highlight that, and I'm going to put more resources in the show notes if you would like to educate yourself, action on it, generally just learn more about anything. If you don't know what I mean by show notes, each episode usually shows a brief description underneath the title, and if you were to click on that description, it expands. I always put my links in there, and this week, and I think I'm going to do the whole month of March, I'm going to highlight women's topics and topics that just generally affect women and women in need right now. So this week and last week, I chose to highlight the women in Gaza. I think I'm going to keep those links in there for a while, as long as I need to. But next week, I think I'm going to try to find more local women in need and so on and so forth. So I feel a little icky going from like war, famine, genocide to let's talk about pop culture. Let's giggle in this podcast. It's fun. So sorry, there's no easy way for me to transition out of that. Ariana Grande's album debuts this week as this airs. And do we have initial thoughts? I'm so excited for the album. What do we think about the SpongeBob situation, first of all? Have we gotten over that? Are we still a little bit feeling a little icky about her? What are our thoughts? She did an interview with Zach Sang last week, and she has done so much work just to be Glinda. I'm like genuinely so impressed by like the work she's done. Sorry, I don't mean to like fully just gloss over the homewrecking part, but I do kind of just think that if you guys can proudly and loudly listen to Chris Brown and support his music, I do think I am allowed to enjoy Miss Ponytail's music. That whole separate the art from the artist. I think I'm allowed to do that, and I think I'm allowed to be Ponytail's biggest musical fan. But going back to the work that she's done to be Glinda, in the interview, she spoke so well, and she was violently enunciating her words now, which is so strange because when I listened to her music from 2018, 2019, the amount of random yes, what? It's like kind of comical now, going back. But also, I'm going to go on a tangent after I finish Ariana Grande. Sure. But okay, so she's so well-spoken, it's kind of like strange, and I know everybody's been talking about how she looks different. I'm not going to actually comment on her physical appearance. I've mainly noticed it in the way that she speaks. I'm going to go on that tangent now if you don't mind, and then we'll come back to Ariana Grande. 2018 and 2019 Ariana was also the biggest time of transformation, or one of the biggest times of transformation in my life. So I hold those Ariana moments very, very close to me. I think I may have a slight trauma bond with Ariana Grande, specifically the Sweetener album and the Thank You Next album. Those it was when I was figuring out what it meant to be 18, 19 years old and what that meant for me and how I would go about being a young adult who has this new freedom not to say I never had freedom, but it was weird. It was like, okay, I'm in college now. I can kind of do whatever I want. What does that mean for me? So as I was figuring that out and who I was truly, though I didn't really figure that out until I think we're still figuring it out. But I'd say that was one of, how did we get here? I'm going to go back to Ariana because that was a weird tangent that I don't actually think has a point. Oh, the point was that I'm trauma bonded to Ariana Grande. So I'm very excited for this album. Hold space for me when I say this. I think I may be more excited for this album than I am for the new Taylor Swift album. And that is a fact that I'm willing to stand strong on. I'm very excited for both. Do not get me wrong in the slightest. I think this Ariana Grande album will be in my top Spotify Wrapped songs. Some of them will. And I can't be so certain about the Taylor Swift album due to I'm in my upbeat pop era, and I fear Taylor Swift will be giving us depression and heartbreak. I don't think I'm there. I don't like listening to that music if I'm not there. So that's how I feel about that. Moving on. Thank you so much for bearing with me and my sicknesses last week. I haven't re-listened to the episode, and I vividly remember just talking and letting the wind take me. So go ahead and not let me ever record another sick episode. Also, never, ever underestimate my trend prediction knowledge again, because somebody questioned me saying cigarettes are going to make a comeback and cigarettes might be cool again. Why have I seen, okay, I've seen like 2, but I'm going to use that to my advantage. Why have I seen a couple videos now of other people agreeing with that? And not necessarily specifically agreeing with me, but just like bringing up the topic of cigarettes coming back and vapes being cringy. Get your lungs ready. Cigarettes will be making a comeback in the next, I'm going to give it 3 to 5 years. I'd say it's a longer trend. It's more of a slow burn. So go ahead and get your lungs ready. I'm going to be safe over here, chillin'. No cigarettes for me, but I'm not going to lie, you do look cool doing it. It just smells really disgusting and it is bad for you and your heart and causes cancer. So this episode is maybe one of my favorites so far. When I was deep diving, I was kind of getting a little giddy. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to tell you guys about this. Styling clothes is something that I've always loved, but could never truly nail down what my personal style was or how to go about it. But I really do think I have an understanding finally of the path I'm going to go for. A hill that I am willing to die on. I will set up camp on this hill, start building a house there, because I've brought it up every single episode. The pandemic killed our sense of style. We were forced into an era of sweatpants and incredible casual attire. Incredibly casual. No one needed to dress up. No one needed to dress to impress. And now we are all lost, falling into trend after trend. And I think this more specifically goes to young adults, young millennials, Gen Zs, newly corporate baddies. Sure. Hey, you're a corporate baddie. Welcome to the club. I think this mainly applies for like younger corporate or just younger people in general. Gen Z, Gen Alpha's like 5, so I'm going to actually leave them out this time. We don't know how to dress, and that's okay. But this episode is about finding your sense of style, what that means, why it's so important to do, and how to do so. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to give you some different ways of dressing and describe that. So maybe you can take those ideas along with you as you embark on this new journey to find your sense of style. So strap in. Let's go. So what is personal style? Why is it important? Personal style is kind of like a formula or uniform to dressing that makes you feel your best every time you dress. it's an ongoing accumulation of pieces that will play into who you are. That's not to say that your personal style will never? Hold on. Your personal style will never change. Girl, get a grip. That's not to say your personal style will never change. Growing and changing and finding new things is inevitable. A style cycle is typically a few years, like 3 to 4 years, due to just growing and evolving our style palettes. That is why I am so pushy. Pushy? I'm not pushy. That is why I strongly urge you to have staple pieces, timeless pieces, versatile pieces in your wardrobe that you can take from 25 to 60 sizes pending, you know? In my most humble opinion, being secure in your sense of style is the most confident thing you can do. Personal style is a way of expressing your most authentic self. But how does one go about finding their personal sense of style? I'm so incredibly glad you asked that. So most of these tips were brought to you by InStyle.com. However, I did work and tweak them to be my own, so I did not plagiarize. I just kind of elaborated. So a huge step you can do is reconsider trends. Go ahead and get that Rolodex in your brain, kind of flashing back to all the different trends over the past years. What worked for you? What didn't? Why? Why didn't they work? Why are you now hating on skinny jeans, you know? Do you actually hate them? Who's to say? For example, I am really, really loving straight leg jeans, relaxed fit jeans. I'm so glad we brought them back. I don't know that I would have found them myself back in 2020. And I can't see myself straying away from them anytime soon. I think they are my most perfect pair of jeans. I am also coming to terms with being a mid-rise girl. I don't think high-rise is good for me. I don't think skinny is good for me in terms of cut. So I love mid-rise straight leg jeans. I'm so happy to have them here. I have them in dark wash, light wash, black, you know, all the staples. However, do I have trendy jeans? Do I have a pink pair of jeans in my closet? Literally, of course. Of course I do, and I experiment from time to time. But knowing what I like, I am less likely to fall into various jean trends because I know the specific fit for me and I know my preferred jean, and I will always go back to them in this current style cycle that I am in. Liking a jean pant is very difficult for most. So once you find the fit you prefer, I say stick with it. Stick with it even if it's skinny jeans. Style cycles change all the time. So maybe you won't be with skinny jeans forever, but if you're comfortable with it for now, stick with skinny jeans. That's who you are. Another tip is work with and around your go-to pieces. Take inventory of the pieces that you have, the pieces that you come back to week. What are you wearing? What are you loving? Just the things that make you feel your best. Accessories, core blouses, trousers. Why do you love them? Why do you hate them? What brings you back? I often gravitate toward a navy blue pair of trousers from Ann Taylor. Let's just talk about how Ann Taylor has kind of run my life since working there. Most of my closet is Ann Taylor, and unfortunately, they will see most of my money, even though they don't run my life anymore. And I think I deserve some mental compensation for that, as well as financial compensation. I don't think I worked there long enough. I was going to say, is there a forever discount that I could have, please? Thank you so much. Okay, what were we doing? Okay, yeah. I often gravitate toward a navy blue pair of trousers because they are very flowy and comfortable. And I think they just add that bit of oomph to any outfit. They're like kind of satiny and really slick. They make a statement for any outfit. To me, trousers are cool girl pants. And I think that's what subconsciously feeds into my decision making of wearing them all the time. because I'm like, cool girls wear these. I want to be a cool girl. I'm going to wear them. I also very often work a gold watch into almost any outfit. I'm not sure where I got this from, but I feel like a watch. It's kind of like a bow on a present. It's just a finishing piece, and I love it so. I think it looks so cool and chic. I don't know. When you wear a regular watch instead of like an Apple Watch, you look like you have your stuff together. You look like you're not questioning what you're doing in your life. So I'm going to keep wearing the gold watch that I got from the antique mall day in and day out, and I refuse to put a battery in it because it's just purely decorative, and I like having to ask people for the time every time I walk away from my phone. And so because I know these things about myself, I can now acquire pieces with that in mind. So soon I'll have a closet of clothes that I truly just can't get enough of, and I am waiting for that day. I am. Next piece of advice that I think is probably one of the better pieces of advice is to play dress up with your own clothes. Experiment with different prints or textures together. Maybe add a belt or add a little spice to an outfit you've never done before. What I've been doing recently is pairing a sweater with a really flowy dress, mainly due to not having any flowy skirts, but that's besides the point. Anyway, I did this with 3 different dresses, and I think I'll only keep one instance in the rotation. While 2 of the fits did not work, 2 out of the 3, I only had a 33% success rate there. The one that did made me feel really incredible. I got called gorgeous that day by a random person in my office building, so I will be keeping her in the rotation, and I'll be keeping that woman in mind every time. Also, if you're worried about putting together outfits that are going to suck, in the wise words of Victoria Paris, not all fits can eat. Sometimes your fits have to flop while you're experimenting, and that's how you find what works. That's how you find what makes you feel your best. And the fits that do eat, they eat. I think it balances out personally. And hold on, you may actually have to take the outfit outside of the house before you feel that effect. When you're inside, you're in your comfort zone. You're like, oh, I feel so silly. I'm not going to go outside. But once you do, you're going to feel incredible. And for every flop outfit, there is a sleigh in the lineup just waiting to be unleashed. So please play dress up with your own clothing, play in your closet, not only for the sake of experimenting, but let's figure out what fits and feels comfortable on your body. Why are you keeping those shorts that don't fit? Yes, I'm talking to myself, but I'm also talking to you too. Gone are the days of trying to fit into clothes. We are now welcoming getting clothes that fit us. We're not doing that. Let's normalize having a closet full of clothes that we know are going to fit every time and don't have to play mental gymnastics when planning an outfit. Just to, oh, is this going to fit? Well, what if this doesn't fit? I should have this backup. No, it's going to fit. It's going to fit. Okay, most importantly, in your style evolution, you have to be honest with yourself. All of these tips genuinely mean nothing if we're not going to be true to ourselves. So go ahead right now, right here, right now, ask yourself, do you really like the mob aesthetic, mob wife aesthetic, or are you just participating because everybody else is? Do you really like the middle part, or are you just participating because you were told side parts are ugly? Me personally, I really hate having my nails done, so I don't let this all my nails are out, squabbles are in affect me. I do my nails myself every so often now. However, there was a period of time where I would get them done a little more often than I would like, and then destroy them like, a week later? So being honest with myself means having boring nails. And when I want them to look nice, I'm okay with them only lasting before the event that I did them for, and then I can promptly take them off. And being honest about your wardrobe leads me to my next point. Not feeding into fast fashion, fast trend cycles, fast, but mainly fast fashion. Sustainability will be truly your bestie when acquiring pieces that will carry you for years and years. That Shein top won't make it to 2027, but a well-made, well-maintained top can outlive you. I love seeing TikTok videos of girlies in their 20s styling outfits that their grandmother had. I think that is just so sweet. And it's really a statement to the quality of the pieces. Now, hold on. I'm not saying that you need to spend an arm and a leg for your personal style, but you also maybe shouldn't be spending pennies if you want high quality, good quality. Things aren't going to rip easily. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I don't have a singular thing from Shein or any other fast fashion website, but I can count on one hand the pieces that I bought from there and still have in my closet to this day. I was raised to get things that are going to last me. And if I hate it, I'm still keeping it for years because why would I buy it and throw it out, you know? I've made a vow to myself that the pieces that I buy from now on will be very good quality. Even if that means a slower curation, I am prioritizing quality over quantity, and I urge you to do the same. Going back to the fact that your quality pieces don't have to cost an arm and a leg, there are secondhand places that you can shop. Thrifting, Etsy, The RealReal, Depop. Although I have heard that Depop sellers aren't necessarily everybody's favorite. My go-to is thrifting. Sometimes if you go thrifting in the rich neighborhoods, you can find some really good things. So I do love a good thrift. My last little bit of advice for curating your personal style is finding a style icon and going from there. So finding somebody that you really admire how they dress and kind of copying them until you figure it out. For example, I really love Sofia Richie Grainge's fashion. I also do really enjoy Ariana Grande's current era of fashion, but we just discussed that I am kind of like trauma bonded to her. So I don't know if they're actually really great looks or if I'm just a little bit biased. So I looked up Sofia Richie Grainge style on Pinterest and went from there. And then I started getting to the root of why I liked her look. So they're classic, they're timeless, but still very feminine. And then I took those adjectives and I typed those into Pinterest and boom, I located what I have deemed timeless femininity. And I'm now working to ensure my style exudes timeless femininity. Thank you, Sofia Richie Grainge. Well, of course, being a goofy Gen Z from time to time, I'm not married to trousers and sweater vests. I am wearing shorts and a pullover as we speak. So, am I exuding timeless femininity? I'm going to go ahead and say yes, just so I can lie to you. But so those are my tips to finding your personal style. I hope you took notes. Even if you're driving, go ahead and get out that notepad. We are in class right now. But now that I did that, I kind of wanted to go through some various styling choices. I also took these straight from GabrielleAruda.com. Although I didn't, okay, hold on. I took the styling choices from the website. So NYC Fashion, I took that. But the descriptions are my own. I get really nervous about accidentally plagiarizing. One time in freshman year of high school, I had to do a book report. And it was all my own work. I swear to God, up and down, I will take that to the grave. It was my own work. But apparently it was too close to some other things, like some other sites. And I got called down to the principal's office and I had to redo the whole assignment because they thought it was plagiarized. And I swear to God, up and down, I have never plagiarized intentionally in my life. So, do you understand why I'm a little concerned about accidentally plagiarizing? And I tell you exactly where I get everything from. Oh my God, I think this is going to be a long episode because we're 26 minutes in and I'm still very much rambling. So, hi! How long is this going to be? My goal is to give you like 45-minute episodes before Q2. Ew, Q2? I'm gonna die. Okay, so New York City fashion, NYC. It can be described as kind of a mix of practical, classic pieces mixed with very trendy and even slightly experimental outfits as well. Lots of dark colors, blacks, lots of blacks, navy blues, dark. It leans a little businessy in the sense of blazers and trousers being a go-to, but still maintaining that functionality due to New York City being a very foot traffic heavy city. And then next we have vintage. Vintage is kind of a very carefree, leans into secondhand or thrifting. A decade that I'd use to define kind of vintage is 90s, 70s to 90s vibes, lots of denim, crop tops, oversized jackets. I would say I saw an uptick in this around like 2017 to 2019, a huge boom in thrifting and thrifting vlogs as a means of sustainability and affordability. The amount of thrifting vlogs I watched and consumed, I think that was my peak thrifting era. I'd like to go on record and say that, actually. The amount of people I knew who would just like, after class, oh, we're going to go thrifting. It was the thing to do as an 18-year-old in 2017. Next, we have minimalist. Minimalist is, dare I say exactly what it sounds, dressing in minimal colors, embracing a capsule wardrobe. It's very well-tailored, high-quality pieces that you don't need too much of to have like the most perfectly elegant wardrobe. This one very much leans into quality over quantity, and less is more in minimalist. Next, we have boho/boho chic, leans strong into the 70s roots with its whimsy, and some characteristics that you might see in this is very long hair, long skirts, just the right amount of carefree to caring ratio. Go ahead and, for me, visualize Vanessa Hudgens at the 2016 Coachella. Do you see it? Boho chic. Streetwear. Streetwear is kind of booming. It's casual clothing grown out of the blend of New York City hip-hop and California surf culture. The main focus of it is comfort, but elevated. Lots of layering, lots of loose fitting to give you a picture to paint while you're very busy driving or working. Go ahead and paint a picture for me. Okay. Billie Eilish in her very loose clothing era is something that I would consider to be similar to streetwear. And then athleisure. The clean girls. Athleisure, I would say, built clean girls. Clean girl is a branch of athleisure. Also, hold on, before I get into athleisure, I was driving on the highway today. Not me driving, I was in the car. And I was looking at all the leafless trees, all the naked trees on the highway. And I think it is so crazy how they branch. They just branch off and shoot their arms. And they get smaller and smaller. It starts as one big trunk and then the offshoots get smaller and smaller. So I did think about that a little too hard. And now branches and naked trees concern me. Not concern me, but it is a bit fascinating. And I think we do need to respect trees more. Somebody told me that I get a little wild on my podcast, just like rambling. And a reminder that it's just me. And this is my space. So I'm just talking. I'm filling space. I'm letting us have a great time while we're experiencing the capitalist hellhole that is life. I'm so sorry that I used the HE double hockey sticks words. Like I've said, I try not to cuss on here just because I have a wide audience of people who listen. And by wide audience, I do mean maybe 100 people. But different religious backgrounds, people who try not to cuss in their own life. I'm just being respectful and not cussing. Athleisure. The clean girl aesthetic was born here. It mixes comfort with trendy sportswear to create I could have Pilates class right after this, but really who's to say kind of vibe. It's well fitted, matching sets, always, and always paired with jewelry and a slick back bun look. Slick back hair, slick back bun, braid, athleisure. Think of Yoga Mom. Yoga Mom in Beverly Hills. Athleisure. And then classic casual. Not casual, which is classic. It is the classic aesthetic who leans into casual. Let me go ahead and give you the definition. It still incorporates things like sneakers and jeans while maintaining the classic integrity of somebody like Audrey Hepburn, who's known for her timeless and classic styles. So very crisp, very feminine, very timeless, but still casual. I didn't really need to explain that too hard. Okay, so style is subjective and means very different things to everybody. The best thing you can do to ensure you're dressing in accordance with your personal style is to wear what makes you feel good and empowered, regardless of what people around you say. But maybe if they have good styling tips, you should take them. Like maybe if they're like, hey, this color doesn't look the best on you. If they're a friend, go ahead and take it. If it's just like a random chick on the street, go ahead and punch them in the face. Don't do that. Don't do that. Confidence is key when it comes to styling. However, I am a big proponent of faking it until you make it. Go ahead and adapt that motto into your wardrobe if you must. If you please, feel free. I still haven't figured out and fully sorted my personal sense of style, but I do have a good direction. Where my trouble lies is figuring out where to buy the clothes I want, which leads me to believe this whole fashion line thing needs to happen sooner rather than later because your girl needs every piece I can imagine and I need it now. J.G. Wentworth style. Yeah. Because I can imagine what I want, but I don't know how to search it. And then when I do figure out what to search, it's never what I want. So I will be taking to Procreate to design more. I can't because my dog ate my Apple Pencil, so I can't. This is real. This is me. This is exactly who I'm supposed to be. And if you've had fun with us today, go ahead and follow us. Our links will be in the show notes, as well as links and resources for the women in Gaza who don't have menstrual supplies, who are bearing children without medication, who are just in general danger. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you. Let's all blast Ariana Grande on Friday. Thanks, guys. Bye.